Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lucore Automotive. As you can see behind me, I have the 1979 AMC AMX. You've seen a number of videos about this car over the last year or so as we bring it back to life. And the first test drive didn't exactly go according to plan, but it's gotten better since then. We did manage to get it to and fro the Good Guys car show here this past week in Columbus, Ohio, which was excellent. Unfortunately, we were still battling some cooling issues, and we have some overheating problems that are actually a little bit complicated. Let me explain that here in just a moment. So, got some more work to do on the AMC AMX. We're going to tackle some cooling problems, and we're going to tackle specifically some fueling problems. So, that fuel tank is coming out. We're going to see what we find. Interested? Follow along. Now, what am I saying as far as what's going on here? A little bit of recap. This car will sit and idle for 2 hours without a problem. Will never overheat. You can rev it up to 3,000 RPMs, no problems, never overheats. Now the gauge goes from like middle to pegged, but I'm not worried about that. We can hit the temperatures all over the engine, on the radiator, on the hoses, on the coolant neck, all of that stuff. Everything stays right where it should stay. So I'm not worried about it. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter what the gauge is showing me. I'm able to measure it. But what I am worried about and what I am seeing is on my fuel pressure gauge, I'm seeing where the fuel pressure is dropping from 6 psi at the fuel line down to 3, down to 0. Now, the engine will continue running, but it does start to get hot at that point in time, which is interesting. And to me, we got a number of different issues here. I am thinking that what's happening is we are suffering from an issue of stuff in the tank, which we've never dropped this tank, and it's leaning the motor out, which is causing an additional amount of heat in the motor. Make sense to you? Makes sense to me, at least. Now, the fuel pressure drop on the rail can be a number of things. That could be an issue of we've got some restrictions where we're pulling junk through the lines and it's pulling it down. It could be an issue where it's starting to get hot and it's vaporizing the fuel that's in the lines, thus it's dropping it out on the gauge. It's not really dropping it out, but it's dropping it out on the gauge as it vaporizes that fuel. There's a number of different things that are going on there, but in my mind, what makes sense here is we have stuff that's still polluting our fuel system, which is leaning out the motor, which is overheating the motor, which is why it overheats when it's driving, but it doesn't overheat when it's sitting still. So, with all of that said, what we need to do is drop that fuel tank and see what exactly is in there, what level of gross it is. This has never been dropped. We really didn't want to do this because I don't want to break anything. But at this point in time, I don't have an option. We've already gone through 5 fuel filters to try to clean out this entire system, and it's still not what we would consider clean. So, I'm going to remove the fuel tank. And there's a couple of bolts that I'm really worried about. So wish me luck. Alright, we've got about 4.5 pounds of pressure. Get this thing to the throttle. Holding fuel pressure just fine. Let it sit here for a minute and see what happens. So it's sitting out here about 5 minutes idling, and we're down to almost 0 fuel pressure. Start up first thing in the morning. 5.5, almost 6 psi. Plate toast. See if that fixes our issue with our cooling. I don't think it is. I have a feeling we have an issue with our cleaning out. So this is the filter element.
sludge.
Gunk in the filter. Well, there we go. Fuel tank's out. Actually, that wasn't too bad. Fortunately, the bolts that hold the tank straps in actually came loose, which is nice, so no big deal. Disconnect a couple of fuel lines, the sender lines, and then yeah, that's it. So to get this thing off the stand, get it on the ground, and see exactly what kind of disgusting is in here. Judging by the outside of the tank, it's going to be a lot of disgusting, lots of spiders, lots of disgusting. You'll see how bad it is in the tank, and hopefully it's something we can resolve quickly. Good news is the tank seems like it's in good shape, so hopefully we're not going to be completely screwed. Because it does have to be at a car show tomorrow. No big deal. Let's get it on the ground. I got most of the fuel out of this thing.
This isn't looking promising.
Exactly why I didn't want to do this in the first place.
Hey, it broke loose. You're gonna need a new lock ring. Oh. Oh. Oh, the sock fell off. Feels kind of heavy. Hey!
Everybody says?
Hey! Oh! That's why your fuel gauge doesn't work.
Why? Because it's full of fuel.
So it rotted the copper.
That's fine.
And the sock fell off while I was beating on it. So we'll need to dig that out of there. That sock is nasty. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see anything in there.
There you go.
That looks great. That sock was attached.
So we're all on the same page here. That stuff that you saw draining into the floor, that was not water. That was not gasoline. That was water. We put the tank in the acid bath. We have an agitating acid bath here to break up all of the schmutz that was in the bottom of it and strip all of the stuff from the outside of the tank. So now the tank is nice and clean and has been painted down here. Just laid a layer of black on it. Inside the tank is all nice and clean. Also painted the tank straps, so they'll look all nice and pretty. They're just a normal black, nothing serious. And thanks to Kennedy American, I have all of my parts for inside my fuel system. I've got a brand new pickup, brand new sock, brand new lock ring, brand new O-ring, and he happened to have a 1979 Spirit that I stole a shift knob off of as well. So I have absolutely everything I need to get this fuel system back in the car, and I already put my shift knob on the car, which is perfect. So as you can see, it is not currently in the shop. It is a working shop, so we can't leave things dead on the rack for a while. So it's back there in the backyard, and we're going to try to push this with a couple of horsies and get it in here so I get this fuel tank reinstalled. So time for us to get back to work. Yeah, mule! I like it. Keep going. Push. Go. Yes! Success! We did a thing. Whew. Well done, horsies. Well done. All right. So, sock goes on, like so. Sending unit goes in. Now all we gotta do is lock it down. Lock ring installed. Now, get this thing centered, and we'll drop the tank, or drop the car down on the tank. That's why it's easy to do this on a rack. All right. Tank straps go in. Okay, so tank is in, lock ring is locked down. I need to get my grounding strap for the sending unit attached here. I need to attach my feed and return hoses to the feed and return on the sending unit. And lock down my one wire here. And yeah, we're done. No big thing. No big thing. Then cross our fingers that it works and fixes my problem. It can't hurt. Let's be honest, it can't hurt. Might not fix my problem, but it can't hurt. Okay, so feed line, return line, signal line or signal wire, ground, all attached. Straps are obviously on there, but tank is not all the way drawn up. So I need to draw the nuts onto the strap hangers all the way up, so the tank is all the way locked down. Put the fuel filler neck back in the top of the tank through the license plate hole, bolt that back down, put some fuel in it, turn the key and see if I fixed myself. Hopefully fixed it. If not, even if I don't have fuel signal, I don't really care that much, but I wanted to make sure I don't have any schmutz in the tank, and I definitely don't have any schmutz in the tank now, so probably didn't at least hurt it, might not have fixed it. We'll see. Let me tighten these things down and get this thing done, get it off. Nice and locked down. And it looks better in black too, doesn't it? Yeah. Ignore the gigantic scratch on there from the transmission jack. Sorry, we can fix that with a little bit of spray paint. No big deal. Looks better than it did. Don't judge me. All right, that's done. Let's drop this thing down, put the neck in it, put the fuel in it, see what happens. All right, put some fuel in this guy. Step one is it coming out the bottom? No. So, we can try to fire this thing up, see if it'll fire up. Let's see if it leaks. No, we can't because the battery's dead. Don't! Start the car, take two. Jump pack doesn't work. Battery's dead as a doornail. Be right back. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes. Battery should be somewhat functional. Let's see if I can hit this thing and make it start. Hey! She rolls over. Now, let's get some fuel in this thing. Come on! 0. Which isn't super surprising if the sending unit doesn't work or the gauge doesn't work. Not real surprised there. As you can see, the temperature gauge within 20 seconds is at medium. So then it goes from medium to pegged. So yeah, whatever. Not a big surprise there, but hey, it's running. I did a thing. Go me. Now the real questions start. What I did with pulling the fuel tank, cleaning the fuel tank, replacing some stuff, putting it back together again, not that big a deal. It's not rocket science. The real question is going to come to, does what I did fix my issue? As of right now, as I'm watching that needle, it's at 5 psi, which is right where I want to be, 5 to 6 psi. As we let it run, we're going to hopefully not see that needle go. If we do, we have another set of filters we're going to put on it, just in case there's some more stuff that's still in there, and see if that fixes our issue. If it doesn't fix our issue, then we need to start addressing something else, as far as maybe, are we boiling our fuel and that's why it's dropping fuel pressure. So there's nothing but to do but wait at this point. At least it sounds pretty good. Something else an astute observer may notice is there's a piece of plywood on the roof of the car. And the reason for that is there's no sunroof in it anymore. It's now a moonroof that doesn't close. Or an O-top. The latches that are on the front of the sunroof rusted, and I heard it wiggle, and I reached up to grab one of the latches, and as I grabbed it, the latch literally fell apart in my hand, and the glass just came out of the top and exploded everywhere. Some of it went in the car, on me, down my shirt, over the top, into the wing, probably some of it behind me on the road. Fortunately, there was nobody behind me at 70 miles an hour to catch a glass spray, but I do currently have a gigantic hole in the roof of my car, which is less than optimal. However, it will help me stay cool. So, got that going for me, which is nice. It's been about 10 minutes. Zero. So, pulling and cleaning the tank didn't fix it. At least not right away. Now there's still a possibility that we may have another clogged fuel filter. I have 3 more of them just in case that's the problem. Or we have an issue where we're boiling the fuel, because clearly the car is still running, right? If it had 0 psi of fuel pressure, it wouldn't still be running. But something is amiss here, and I need to figure out what. So I guess the next step is going to be replacing fuel filters, trying this again, and then I don't know. I really don't know. This thing is starting to drive me crazy because I can't go race carring. I might have just run it out of fuel. Maybe that's why it had 0 fuel pressure. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Click on the like button if you haven't subscribed already. Please do so. Lots more stuff with the AMC AMX. Stuff coming with this Jeep here shortly. We're doing a whole full body off thing on that. You saw that Camaro the other day on this this here channel. All kinds of stuff. It's what we do here. We'll keep doing it. You keep watching it. Thanks for being here. See you next time.